Picture a guy at his desk, staring at a stack of invoices so tall it's blocking his coffee mug. That pile means nothing to him. It's just Tuesday. He'll clear it, and tomorrow it'll be back, taller. But somewhere in the next 12 months, cutting that exact pile is going to build somebody else's first real business, not by working harder than he does, by being the one who finally walks over and kills it. By the end of this, you'll understand why that pile is worth more than it looks, and what it turns into when somebody actually kills it. If you've spent the last year using AI for a side hustle, here's something uncomfortable. You've probably been chasing the wrong target the whole time. Not because your tools are bad, because everyone's aiming at the same thing. The next chatbot, the next faceless AI channel, the next agency selling AI services nobody actually asked for. Meanwhile, a much quieter group of operators found something simpler, sitting in plain sight inside almost every business in the country. Once you see it, you genuinely can't unsee it. Let's call the guy at the desk Jake. Jake runs the back office for a mid-sized logistics company. Every day, he does the same 3 things. Opens the same emails, updates the same spreadsheet, processes the same invoices, one at a time, by hand. Jake isn't lazy. He's stuck doing what a computer should have been doing years ago. His boss doesn't ask why it's taking so long. He asks why they're still paying someone to do this at all. Jake doesn't have an answer. That question is worth more than anything Jake could build in a weekend. Now, here's where this gets expensive. Multiply Jake by every logistics company, every clinic, every law firm, every contractor running a business off a shared inbox and a messy spreadsheet. This was never really Jake's job. It's a hole in the market that happens to have his name stapled to it, sitting there right now, waiting for somebody to close it. And ironically, the businesses spending the least on AI right now are usually the ones sitting on the biggest opportunities, because nobody's ever shown them what their own boring work is worth. Here's the blind spot almost everyone in the AI space is stuck in. Everyone assumes AI is here to replace employees. Wrong target. AI isn't coming for people first. It's coming for repetition. Business owners don't hate paying people. What they hate is paying over and over for the exact same task until somebody finally kills it. Businesses don't need fewer employees. They need fewer repetitive tasks. Read that sentence twice. Up to this point, we've only talked about finding opportunities. But finding them isn't actually where the big businesses get built. Killing one repetitive task isn't actually the business. It's just the first rung of a much bigger ladder. Most people build one automation, get paid a few $100s, and stop climbing right there. The ones who climb higher end up owning something completely different by the time they're done. I'll show you exactly what that ladder looks like as we go, starting with what happens to Jake's invoices the moment somebody touches rung 1. So here's where most side hustlers get it backwards. They ask, what AI tool should I build? Wrong question. The one that actually pays is, what repetitive task is somebody already paying for every single day? The best automation businesses rarely start with AI at all. They start with someone complaining, stop scrolling Product Hunt at midnight, go sit inside a real business. Listen for the complaint. That's rung 1, waiting to be noticed. Once this clicks, something weird starts happening. You stop seeing departments and start seeing workflows. You stop seeing employees and start seeing repeated actions running on a loop. That gap between what's boring to a person and what's trivial to a machine has a name. Call it expensive boredom. Any task that's repetitive, predictable, and written down somewhere as a policy is exactly where AI performs best. Nobody budgets for boredom, but boredom still has a price. Here's the part that trips people up, though. The easiest repetitive tasks to notice usually aren't the most valuable ones. The expensive ones are often invisible because they've become normal. Take the dentist's office down the street. Someone spends an hour every morning calling patients to confirm appointments, and half of them don't even pick up. Nobody there thinks of that hour as a problem. It's just Tuesday, the same way Jake's invoices are just Tuesday. It's been normal for so long, it stopped looking like an opportunity and started looking like furniture. The task that's easiest to spot is rarely the one worth the most. The one worth the most is the one everyone stops seeing. Remember Jake? Here's rung 1 of that ladder, in real life. Right now, someone reads Jake's invoices, matches them to the right purchase order, and logs them by hand. Automate just that single step, and it's a task getting handled. Rung 1. Chain that with the part where the invoice gets matched, approved, and filed without anyone touching a keyboard, and it's no longer one trick. It's a workflow. Jake still opens the software every morning, he just doesn't do the work anymore. He checks it, that's rungs 1 and 2. Small, individually, but stack enough of them under one roof, and something else starts to happen. If you only remember one idea from this video, make it this. Businesses don't actually want to buy AI. They want to buy fewer headaches. Founders don't lie awake thinking about GPT-5 or Claude or Gemini. They don't care which model is powering anything, they care about 5 things. Fewer phone calls, faster cash flow, fewer mistakes, less payroll, and less time spent training whoever's doing the job this month, because someone always quits eventually. Most founders don't even know they're buying automation. They think they're buying back their mornings. That's the pitch that actually lands. Not, "I'll build you an AI system." More like, "You'll stop getting the 8 a.m. call about the invoice that didn't match." One of those sentences sounds like a tech product. The other sounds like relief. Only one of them gets you paid. And this is where you stop thinking like someone selling AI and start thinking like an operator. There's a sharper way to spot this than just scanning for anything repetitive. Not every repetitive task hurts the same amount. Think about the receptionist answering the same call for the 40th time today, the accountant retyping numbers that already exist somewhere else, the HR manager reading 200 resumes that all say the same 3 things. If employees complain about the same task every single day, that's usually not a staffing problem. It's a systems problem, wearing a person's name. Ask one question about anyone in a business. What's the worst hour of their day? That hour is where the money is. Here's something that surprises most people once they start looking. The most complicated looking tasks are usually the worst AI opportunities, not the best ones. If a task needs judgment, context, and constant exceptions, it's expensive to automate and easy to get wrong. The boring ones are the gold mine. Predictable beats impressive every time. And the businesses with the oldest, clunkiest software are often the easiest to sell to, not the cutting-edge startups already drowning in tools. The business still running on a shared inbox and a spreadsheet from 2011 isn't behind, it's just waiting. Back to Jake, and the next rung. Right now, his system just processes what it's told. Give it the ability to notice when something looks wrong, an invoice with a number that doesn't match, a vendor that's never billed them before, and flag it instead of blindly filing it. And it's not automation anymore. That's an agent. Jake's boss stops asking why it's taking so long. He starts asking why Jake still has to look at anything at all, so here's exactly what to do with this, starting tomorrow. Stop hunting for the next flashy AI tool to slap your name on. Start watching how the businesses around you actually run, and write down every task that repeats. If you can't walk into one yet, open LinkedIn and search job titles like data entry, scheduling coordinator, or accounts payable clerk. Every listing is a repetitive task somebody is already paying a salary to keep alive. Keep doing the smaller, unscalable client work, if that's where you're at right now. It's exactly how you learn which tasks are actually worth climbing the ladder for. Most people stop after building one automation. That's where they accidentally cap how much they can earn. Now connect Jake's invoice agent to the one handling collections and the one handling scheduling. None of them are doing one job anymore. Together, they're quietly running a piece of the business on their own. That's a multi-agent system. Keep connecting pieces, and eventually you're not selling a tool that sits inside the business. You're running the back office the business depends on to function. That's the top rung. A business operating system. Jake's job at that point isn't gone. It's just different. He's not typing numbers anymore. He's the person the system escalates to when something looks strange enough that a machine shouldn't decide alone. And at every rung of that ladder, the price climbs with it. Because nobody's ever really paying for code. They're paying for the hours they get back, and for not needing to hire a second Jake next year. Here's a more useful comparison than the Gold Rush one you've probably heard 100 times already. Right now, there's a graveyard of AI apps that were built purely to show off what a chatbot can do, a wrapper around someone else's model, with no actual problem attached to it. Most of them are already gone, or getting there. Meanwhile, a tool built for one law firm's contract review, with a name nobody outside the firm has ever heard, is still running, still getting paid every single month. Nobody's writing articles about it. It's not trying to impress anyone. It's just quietly doing the one thing it was built to remove. Attention goes to the exciting demo. Money goes to the boring tool nobody talks about. Here's a prediction worth sitting with. In a few years, companies probably won't compete on who has access to AI. Everyone will have access to roughly the same models. They'll compete on how little repetitive work is still left inside their business. The businesses that got there first won't be the ones with the fanciest tools. They'll be the ones that started removing the boring stuff earliest. And this is why you won't look at businesses the same way again. Every business is surrounded by repetitive work. Most employees stopped noticing it years ago. It's just the job to them now. The people about to make real money from this aren't going to optimize it. They're going to remove it completely. So the next time you walk into a business, don't ask what AI they're using. Ask what they do every single day that they wish they didn't have to. Once you start asking that question, you actually lose the ability to walk into a business normally ever again. Every spreadsheet starts looking like a product. Every complaint starts looking like a company. Every wasted hour starts looking like revenue, just sitting there, waiting for someone else to notice it first.